Through official 9/11 media, the world was informed that the United States of America was attacked by a group of 19 al-Qaeda terrorists on the morning of Tuesday, September 11, 2001. 2 planes were crashed into the Twin Towers in New York City, 1 was flown into the Pentagon, and a 4th plane crashed in a field near Pennsylvania, supposedly headed for Washington, D.C. The founder of this terrorist group, Osama bin Laden, was supposedly behind the attack, causing the death of 2,977 victims. However, the facts released by the media may not all be accurate because there is evidence that the facts do not add up. Many believe that there is more to this story. For example, we are told that no black boxes were recovered in the debris from 9/11, although there are witnesses who admit to having seen them pulled from the rubble and taken away immediately. Black boxes are heavy-duty recording devices on every airplane that record all activity and communication in the cockpit. However, although investigators are finding tiny bone fragments in the wreckage to identify victims, the official 9/11 report dictates that the large, bright orange-colored, and indestructible flight recorders were somehow never found. Witness Mike Malone admits to physically seeing at least one of these black boxes on September 11th. Also, Dale Leppard, an expert in aviation, has never heard of an aircraft incident in which the black boxes were never found. Another strange part of the official story is how the Twin Towers actually collapsed. The South Tower collapsed first, at 9:59 a.m., and the North Tower fell about 30 minutes later. Oddly, both towers fell down vertically in perfect symmetry, causing many to believe that the towers fell due to controlled demolition and that explosives were placed in the building beforehand. The World Trade Center Building 7 collapsed in the same manner, although this building was not even hit by a plane. Many witnesses in and around the Twin Towers admit to hearing explosive sounds before the towers came down. Professor Stephen Jones was a physicist who studied dust samples from the 9/11 wreckage who found explosive chemicals in the dust. However, his research and the presence of explosive residue in the dust was excluded from the official report. Another loose end in the official story is the stand-down orders given in light of the terrorist attacks. On September 11, 2001, U.S. military was told not to respond to the attack and were not authorized to send up fighter jets to stop these planes. Another factor involved included a change in intercept procedures in August of 2001, forcing NORAD to require government approval before defending the nation in a crisis situation. Oddly enough, these intercept procedures were said to have changed back on September 12, 2001, the day after 9/11. With the attack on the Pentagon that morning, many say that the small holes left in the building would not fit anything close to the size of an airplane, nor was it the right shape. There also happens to be no footage of a plane actually hitting the building. The released footage only reveals an old surveillance tape that can't record every second, thus claiming to have missed the second where the plane appears, and only showing the fire erupting from the building a second later. No footage was even released at all until 2006. Experts note that even the most experienced of pilots would have difficulty flying a plane this low to the ground, as fast as it was going, to crash into the front of the Pentagon. Considering that the hijackers were said to be novice pilots, this flight maneuver would be basically impossible. Many experts have concluded that there is no evidence of a Boeing 757 plane crash here. Thousands of people to date have signed petitions in hopes of continuing the 9/11 investigation to discover the real truth behind the attacks. Rethink 9/11 is one of these petitions, having over 2,000 signatures of just the registered architects and engineers who don't think that the official story makes sense. Over a decade later, it's still unclear what the real intentions behind 9/11 were, but it's obvious that something is missing or being covered up in the 9/11 official story, and many people are actively searching for the truth. The evidence just doesn't add up. It's time we create more awareness about the real events of the 9/11 tragedy. As one of the most documented news stories in history, an answer must be found.